Mavericks. This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Friday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, however you're taking us in. We appreciate it. Live from Bar Canada at the D here in lovely downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander, Kelly Midland in the hizzy. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
Doing very well. NBA Finals are set. We're going to talk about that momentarily after a nothing burger last night of a game.
I thought it was the greatest game ever.
I'm sure you did. We will talk about all kinds of things later on the show, including Jason Weingard will be here from under a cloud of smoke, of course. Jordan Sherwood on UFC 302. Chris Felica, Champions League thoughts. And are you ready for this? College football season win totals. Just a couple of them, though.
Love it.
A couple of them to whet your appetite. You know, I used to pronounce whet like that? Ron Flatter. Why, Gil? Why? Who, what, where? Okay, that's enough. John Legasa, Instant Offense, the microwave, will join us as well to talk with his baseball picks today. Paul Carr will talk soccer with us as well. His thoughts on the Champions League final. And how can I put this, Kelly? You know, yesterday I had a day to reflect. It's May 30th, 2024. You know what I did yesterday, by the way? I went to California and back, and so I had a lot of time to reflect. And one of the things I reflected upon was you sort of saying, you know, Gil, for the content, we need a June MLB bet. And I said after the March-April Cleveland Guardians gut punch and out away from cashing at 65-1. And then after the Guardians, and by the way, again, shout out to the Guardians. You have given me 2 months of awesomeness despite not cashing. They come one game shy. This game today doesn't mean anything to them because they'll end up third, or at least they're in third right now. It's between, by the way, the Yankees and Phillies. We'll update all that later. I said to myself, maybe you should look over June's schedules in Major League Baseball. And so, by the way, here's your most wins by the end of May update. Yankees heading into tonight after their 5-run win over the Angels yesterday, 8-3. Yankees are 20-7, Phillies are 19-7, and there's our poor Guardians at 18-9. Right after that. Pour out a 40 for the Guards.
And I feel bad for JVT, too, right? Didn't he?
Oh, he had the Phillies, too.
Phillies and Guardians?
Well, is he at a dead heat or is he at Circa? I can't remember.
I'm guessing Circa, but I don't.
Yeah. If he's at Circa, he's out. If he's at a dead heat shop, Phillies win, Yankees lose. Phillies and Yankees can tie.
Yeah, good point.
Yankees are at San Francisco. You know how Giants Magic go. Phillies hosting the Cardinals. So I looked over June's schedules, and, you know, at first they weren't at Circa, right? They were only at Caesars William Hill. And I was like, oh, well, okay. It's only a one shop, and it's a dead heat. I'm not sure how interested I am. Not that I wouldn't be interested necessarily in a dead heat, but sometimes I'm more interested in the Circa rules. And then I was like, oh, well, the Dodgers, they clearly should be the short shot. We'll get into all of it later. Anyway, I made a play, Kelly, and it's coming up.
Like it.
Hour number 2 on the show. Why hour number 2, you ask? Because I'd like to even bet more this morning. That's why hour number 2. So we'll get into all that, and we'll go through the whole handicapping process of that. First, the NBA last night. The Dallas Mavericks are taking on the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. That will begin on Thursday at the TD Garden in Boston. Remember, it's a 2-2-1-1-1. 1985 through 2014, they switched the NBA Finals to a 2-3-2 because in those days, 1985, it was so often the Celtics and Lakers that David Stern, the commissioner, was like, let's reduce travel by this point. Celtics, Lakers, coast to coast, let's go 2-3-2. Well, when Adam Silver took over 2014, he's like, yeah, not so much, 2-2-1-1-1, because we get more randos. And take, for instance, this one, Dallas-Boston. That ain't coast to coast. So we have 2-2-1-1-1 like the standard playoff series that exist pre-NBA Finals. And last night, in case you missed it, you didn't miss much. It was 18-18. Mavericks went on a 12-0 run to go up 30-18. At that point in the game already, 30-18, Luka had 20 points on 8 of 10 shooting, 4 for 5 from behind the arc. By the way, that was part of what ended up as a 17-1 run for the Mavs to conclude the first quarter. They were up 35-19, 16-point lead after the first quarter.
Yeah, it was Luka 20, Minnesota 19 at the end of the first.
That's right. Second quarter, more of the same. Second verse, same as the first, I believe someone once said. Mavs led by as many as 23 early, 46-23. They were doubling up the T-Wolves. They closed the half on an 11-2 run. They were up 29 at the half, 69-40. At that point, Luka had 25, Kyrie 19. Third quarter, they led by as many as 36, 82-46. Led by 24 at the end of the quarter, 97-93. They win at 124-103. The Timberwolves could never get it lower than 21 points.
They couldn't. By the time it got to the second half, I mean, how many times have we talked about NBA games and you're like, all right, like, there's live betting opportunities, like it's a game of runs, like there's going to be. It was the first time in a while. I'm not saying I bet it this way or anything. First time in a while like that by halftime. I was like, this is over. This is over.
I think didn't I send you a text? The competitive portion of tonight's festivities is over.
Luka was on one. You watch that first quarter, man. Like, he hasn't shot the ball like that in months just because he's been dealing with the knee injury. But him leaning into shots, fading away, everything was going in. You could tell early it was going to be a long night. By the time we got into that third quarter, it was dead silent in the arena. You could hear everything. Luka's yelling at people on the sidelines. Some fan was getting into it with him, and classic Luka's yelling at everybody, yelling at the Wolves bench, yelling at a fan. Some fan had brought a handkerchief, I believe, is what got reported for his crying. Luka's crying. Good little bit until he starts draining every shot in the building at you.
And so there you have it. Mavericks are going. By the way, you would like to say anything as we pour out a 40? Not a Cancun, 1, 2, 3 Cancun thing, but anything you want to say about the Timberwolves in closing?
Let's all not overreact. I guess I would say that. There's going to be a lot of. Where were we a series ago with this team after they just beat the Denver Nuggets, and now it feels like all this fallout is coming because of Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert and all this stuff, and this was still by far the best defensive team in the league next year. Let's all take a breath, and we can reapproach things in the offseason.
Will Hill said this. He said, imagine telling the Timberwolves after they came back from 20 to beat the Nuggets in Game 7, hey, 11 days from now, you're going to be out of here.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean? We're awesome. Not so much.
I don't know why. It feels like this year even more so than others, like the instant reaction we want to have to everything, right? Anthony Edwards is Michael Jordan. Like, they beat the Nuggets. It's, this morning, it's where does Luka Doncic fall in the greatest players of all time? Like, he's awesome, but can we let him win a championship first? Maybe?
How about what I brought up? Thank God we're not going to have to re-adjudicate the Rudy Gobert trade. Oh, yeah. For God's sakes.
Well, we're on to the Kyrie one now, right? I mean, this is you go on and win a championship, the Kyrie trade's going to look like one of the best trades ever.
Well, also the narrative is going to be all week how Kyrie left the Celtics. That conflict.
Oh, that and Porzingis. You got the Porzingis, Kyrie, absolutely. And it should be.
So I've said this in different ways for the last couple weeks, but once the Nuggets got bounced, it was clear to me that I had no sense for these Western Conference playoffs. There's really no sense to have in the Eastern Conference. It was that straightforward. But I feel that way now after this series as well. And so here we are now, the Mavericks and the Celtics, and dare I say, I think I feel like I am part of the crowd of people, and by crowd I mean every human being I've talked to, with the exception of Drew Dinsick, likes the Mavericks here. That scares me a little bit because I do like the Mavericks at this price. Steve Fezzik, only back-to-back winner of the Hilton Super Contest on the football side, he sent me this text this morning, and I love this because, with Stevie, it's always advice and then calling out people, even if there's nothing to be called out. He says, Gilly, I bet Dallas 2-1 and plus 190. He gives himself a fine because he bet it before he said anything. He said, Circa still has plus 185. This is Dallas in the NBA Finals on the series price. He says, I strongly believe the market is going to back Dallas. The narrative is going to be that Boston is a paper tiger built for a regular season. And injury-aided 3 straight series. So if you're going to back Dallas, I would bet them now because I think this line is going down. If you like Boston, wait until post to get them. I completely agree with that. Here's the part that I love, though. He goes on to say, he says, also, I don't want to hear any blank about anyone getting 2-1 or plus 195 that I did because I was all over the openers, and that was me that got those in pocket right after the games, and I want to see the tickets if they claim so. There it is, on brand. I asked him on air, what do you think you care more about, winning money or calling other people dumbos? And he's like, dumbos.
That's great. Great.
By the way, you can parse this out of obviously more than just a series price. You can bet this game by game. First of all, over 5.5. is at -150, so slightly juiced to the over in terms of 5.5 games. The under's at +125. Celtics sweep is 6-1. A Mavericks sweep is 19-1. That, of course, is the long shot. Celtics in 7 is +350. Mavs in 7 is 8-1. The shortest of all shots is not the Celtics in 7. A tick shorter than that is the Celtics in 5 at +340.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is not going to happen.
I don't think so, but we'll see. I actually think Drew on with us the other day was the perfect just to sum up what the Celtics are, where it's for a lot of NBA bettors, they've just broken his brain, right? I mean, like we asked him what is a price a fair price for him on the NBA Finals with the Mavericks. He's like, I mean, -400 it should be for Celtics, but he's like, they've broken my numbers this postseason. He's like, I can't get there. So
this postseason, also last postseason, they've broken.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm really interested to see. I mean, that Porzingis has to be back. It sounds like he will be, but man, I think with those types of injuries and those types of players, I'm waiting to see. I would like to see him back before I think you really get excited about betting Boston. Otherwise, until then, you're probably just looking at the Dallas side. I don't know how you could bet Boston without knowing 100% for sure Porzingis is in there, which I don't really know we can say that yet.
And what's your Mavs ticket to win it all again? What number?
19-1. I have 40-1 in the exacta. You're the exactas. I have 41 on Dallas over the Celtics in an exact.
Let's go, Kelly Bidlett.
I do agree with Steve's point on the price. I grabbed a little Celtics last night to hedge off a bit, though.
Coming back, French Open update. Remaining plays. That's next.
Right now, if you sign up for a VSiN Pro annual subscription, you get an extra 2 months for free. What's worth betting on over the next 14 months?
The NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the rest
of
the baseball season, the World Series, all 3 Triple
Absolutely
Crown races,
betting
the NFL
on
regular
that.
season, the NFL playoffs, the Super Bowl,
Crushed on that last year. Got to do better. And that's what we're here for. If you plan on betting any of these, head to vsin.com/subscribe and use the promo code football to get 2 free months with your annual subscription.
NBA playoffs,
This isn't your typical betting show. This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSiN.
Forget what you know.
Done.
Because we're rewriting the playbook.
I'm Sean Second, the Money Green, with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. And every Friday night, we're taking over VSiN, giving our best bets. And, of course, talking a ton of trash on everyone that costs us money.
We don't follow trends, we set them.
Bit of a stretch, but we are the Sports Gambling Podcast live here every Friday night, 9 p.m. East, 6 p.m. Pacific on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN senior MLB analyst Adam Burke. Let's face it, between bad managers and umpires like Angel Hernandez, betting on baseball can be brutal. But my daily article is here to help. Every morning, I go through each MLB matchup and give you my best bets of the day. I analyze pitching matchups, study analytics, look at lineups, and even weather reports, all to find value on the baseball slate. My daily article is only available to VSiN Pro subscribers. To become a subscriber, head to vsin.com/pro today.
At VSiN, we've got you covered before, during, and after every game. Jumpstart your game day with Tim Murray and Jonathan Von Tobel on VSiN Primetime at 6 Eastern. They'll get you ready before the first tip, puck drop, and pitch, ensuring you're ahead of the game. Then stay in the loop during all the action with the Greg Peterson Experience at 9. And as the night wraps up, join Matt Humans and Wes Reynolds on VSiN Tonight at 11, giving you the first look at tomorrow's lines to get an edge on the next day's bets. All this and more, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If you think about betting football all year round, the Lombardi Line on VSiN is the perfect show for you. 7 days a week, you can watch and listen to the Lombardi Line with former NFL executive Michael Lombardi. He gives his honest opinions on personnel signings, draft decisions, and every offseason move to help you as a bettor. Catch the show weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern and on weekends at 10 a.m. Eastern. The Lombardi Line, 7 days a week, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The Numbers Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Numbers Game proudly brought to you by Zyn. It should be pointed out as well. Zyn.com for all the information on Zyn, America's #1 nicotine pouch. Find out more again at Zyn.com. That's Z-Y-N. Also for a limited time, and when I say limited now, Kelly, I'm talking about today.
Dunzo.
The ultimate in limit. We're slashing the price of our annual subscription just for the remainder of the day. It's normally $240. You can now secure your subscription for just $199. Today's the final day. We'll throw in an extra 2 months for free. That's 14 months of VSiN Pro access for less than 50 cents a day. When you use promo code ANG, though, you got to use ANG. With VSiN Pro, you'll get immediate access to our daily best bets, complete with a leaderboard showcasing the hottest VSiN experts, betting splits that reveal where the money and bets are trending for every game, exclusive betting systems, premium analysis, and 24/7 video content. Remember, today's the final day of this 14-month offer, so visit VSiN.com/subscribe now. It's your last chance to grab your 14 months of VSiN Pro for just $199 with promo code ANG.
ANG like a numbers game.
Get it now. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. You know, Kelly and I, we read this promo, as everybody has here on the network, but we've read ours for weeks now, a couple weeks, right? A few weeks. And so it gets lost.
I think like 4 of them.
What's that? Maybe like 4 weeks? 4 of those things. But it really deserves to be said again, like less than 50 cents a day, dude.
Yeah.
And this helps you make money. So, again, remember all those streaming subscriptions you have, which you don't even know if you're doubling up on them and you're spending just as much as you did when you had cable. They told you get rid of cable. Now you got all these streaming services, and you're like, man, I wish I hadn't gotten rid of cable. This is less than 50 cents a day. This doesn't even make a mark on you.
Yeah, we also don't really care. We don't care if you don't like everything. Like, I don't know about you, Gil. You know how many, like, different stats and betting sites I'm subscribed to that I go to for one thing? That's fine. You could use us like that. We don't care.
Yeah.
One thing you like on there. Use it.
Use us.
Use us.
Use us for that. French Open today. We had a winner. I don't even know what to do with myself, Kelly, that we had a final set tiebreaker win this morning. I didn't even know that was possible. Olga Danilovic took down Donna Vekic in a third set tiebreaker after she got bageled in the first set, by the way. She likes, here, take a set. And then she went ahead and she won the match.
Oh, nice.
On a third set tiebreaker. But this on the heels of yesterday, I had Flavio Cobolli. He's an Italian player. Flavio Cobolli. And he was playing Holger Vitus Nadskov Rune. And Holger Rune is one of these guys that when you're betting against him, you want to beat him so bad. He's just got this attitude about him. And so Cobolli's down 2 sets, and we had him at plus 180, plus 178 to be exact. Again, all of these plays from all hosts and all guests on the network in every sport at VSiN.com/picks. It is for subscribers only, VSiN.com/picks. And I had Cobolli. He comes back. He knots it up at 2 sets apiece, and then they go to a 5th set tiebreaker, which at the French Open is first to 10 by 2. Every slam has a different. I think they're all uniform now. They all go to 10 in the decider.
They are?
Yeah, I think they're all uniform now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Now I'm getting confused. So the French Open, anyway, goes to 5th set tiebreaker at up to 10 by 2. And Cobolli goes up 5-love in the tiebreaker. Plus 178 dog. You know what happens? Yeah, we lose.
Yeah, but of course.
I'm like, Clay despises me.
But of course.
But Danilovic did come back this morning to make up for that, although she was a favorite, so it's all a wash.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's all uniform now.
I know that.
It's recent. It's in the last year or 2.
Yeah, I think
it used to be every slam did it differently. Some would have a 5th set tiebreaker to 7. Another would have a 5th set tiebreaker to 10. Wimbledon famously back in the day went forever.
Right. Yep.
The Isner match that lasted 3 days.
Yep. It's probably better it's all uniform now for the casual fan, but do you like it? Like, was there one that you liked better than others?
I like it uniform. Just make it uniform.
Okay. Because I kind of go back and forth on that when the PGA does if there's a playoff, they do like the 3-hole aggregate instead of just 1-hole playoff.
Yeah.
And there's like part of that I like, but
it makes you have to ask the question every time they're coming down 18. Okay, what's the playoff format on this?
Right? Right, exactly. Yeah. Which I think for the casual fans, I'm very okay if they just went to a uniform system.
Yeah. The other, we have 2 more besides the winner this morning. We had, by the way, and yesterday was a terrible day, but today we start off with a winner, and now Clara Towson, who we have over Sophia Kenin. She's up a break in the first set, so that's going well early. The only one we have left today is the only dog, and that's Ben Shelton. Took Ben Shelton on the men's side.
Boo, Florida Gators. Boo.
Up against Felix Auger-Aliassime.
Want me to spell that again?
I think me and
Ben Shelton was Florida, right?
Yes,
he
was Florida. All right, he was. His dad was the coach there, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. College tennis is great, by the way. It's awesome. But Shelton thinks he's still playing college tennis sometimes on the pro tour. Like, after
what does that mean?
Remember after he won a match, he famously, I can't remember which tournament.
He has some
like
antics,
acted
right?
like he was hanging up an old rotary phone. He's like this, and then Djokovic beat him, and Djokovic goes like that. Sorry for the visuals if you're not watching. So yeah, he does a lot of that, which is like kind of not what old school tennis folks are used to. Anyway, I'm on. I'm on Shelton to get through today. Hopefully, we can have ourselves a sweep today. We'll see. We shall see. As far as the French Open futures that we have, oh, by the way, Iga plays a little later on. She hasn't started quite yet. But Iga, in her first match since the epic battle against Naomi Osaka, she is taking on Marie Buskova today. It may start during this show. I expect Iga to roll.
Do you ever, that kind of answers that. But in general, do you ever worry about that with let's say some tennis players of lesser talent? Like, is there a, kind of like we bring up in other sports, a letdown spot or something like that? Like, are you worried about that with some players that come off of a huge match like that?
I don't think there is a letdown. I don't think that term exists in tennis. I think it's a different thing.
Yeah.
I think it's you're so mentally shot from what you just went through that the emotion of it, that you can't recover from it. I don't think it's like letdown. When we talk about a letdown spot in other sports, we're talking about the human flaw of just sort of letting your guard down. I don't think that's it typically in tennis. But I think that Iga-Osaka match, I think that Swiatek-Osaka match will go a long way towards helping Iga forward. Not that she needed the help, but that was an epic match. So she's got Buskova here later in the day. As far as our futures, we have Iga, and we have all of the men's players are intact. Casper Ruud had a bit of a scare yesterday. He had to go 5 sets against Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, but he got through one of our parlays. And then Jan-Lennard Struff.
Yeah.
Still rolling so far in queue number 2. We have him at 14-1 to win the second quarter. But his next match is against Alex de Minaur. And I'd love to, I haven't seen the price on that, but young Gilly may have a bet on Struff that match alone.
He also made he's at least made it to the first page of the futures board. Your boy Jan-Lennard Struff, yeah.
Was he not on there before?
Yeah, he's a little bit further down, but he cracked the top 10 now. He cracked the top 10 for me, Gil.
Oh, you mean on the outright futures board?
So he's 80-1, but he cracked the top 10.
Yeah, he ain't gonna win it all, but I'll tell you who, we're looking at that futures board. One of those guys is gone. You know who that is? Andrei Rublev is out. Rublev got beaten straight sets this morning by Matteo Arnaldi. So if you had Andrei Rublev, who Andrei Rublev's career is, he's a top 10 player that cannot crack the quarterfinals ceiling of any slam, and he didn't get to the quarterfinals here at all.
Yeah.
So
remember how I told you yesterday or the day before that I was all caught up on my bets to make to-do list?
Oh, yes.
I lied because there's one I still haven't made. I still haven't bet Djokovic. So if you were landed on this, we'll play the whole game. You don't have any bets. Would you be Alcaraz still in the men's?
I don't feel any differently about the men's side right now than I did before the tournament, which is to say, quite honestly, that the only bets to make are the long shots like on a Struff. But I like Alcaraz, Djokovic, Sinner, Sasha Zverev, Casper Ruud. I stop there. I don't go to Tsitsipas.
I thought odds movement was a little interesting on these. Like, Djokovic kept getting longer, and then yesterday got cut down to 4-1.
Yeah, but like not to any significant degree.
No, nothing significant.
Yeah. I mean, there's just injuries you don't know, and these guys are, Alcaraz dropped a set to some dude the other day. And you're like, well, Djokovic didn't look as sharp as he could in some of these. So you just know there's a little wobble in all these guys.
Okay.
Little wobble. But they're all intact so far, and this tournament will go through the end of next week. Rain. The rain should be gone finally. This is finally the day where the rain is over. So they're all caught up now. So that's where all that stands. You're going to make that Djokovic bet?
I mean, I've meant to for a week. Well, see, it is. We don't talk about it as much anymore. I feel like Gil hears me bring it up a lot off air. But like some of these with the Grand Slams, I just don't rush to make. Now would be the time. I think you probably got to get it in. But for those top seeded guys, it's so rare. They don't lose in that first week and their odds barely move. So I'm not rushing to bet these guys sometimes because I don't want to be killed by the biggest upset ever, and I got a ticket on them already. So yeah, I think I'm going to. I've bet Djokovic at the French like 5 years in a row. Which what has he won like 2 of those or something? 2 or 3 of those? It's been pretty good.
My Twitter is overrun with MLB June. People really like these monthly markets.
They're cool. It's good that books keep doing them.
Yeah. Shout out to Caesars William Hill. Shout out to Circa for continuing to do them. Always a fascinating market and really the correct meter of time for a baseball bet, in my opinion. We'll get to mine later on the show or on the other end.
We're this close to crowning an NBA champ, and with the action heating up on the court, it's even hotter at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New to DraftKings? Listen up. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500. Just deposit at least $5 and you'll get a bonus bet back equal to your first bet if it doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code VSiN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. 1 new sweat bet per new customer. Issued as 1 bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/bball for eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Right now, if you sign up for a VSiN Pro annual subscription, you get an extra 2 months for free. What's worth betting on over the next 14 months?
The NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the rest
good.
of the baseball season, the World Series, all 3 triple
Absolutely
crown races,
betting
the NFL
on
regular
that.
season, the NFL playoffs, the Super Bowl,
Crushed on
12
that
team
last year.
football
Got to do
playoffs,
better, and that's what we're here for. If you plan on betting any of these, head to VSiN.com/subscribe and use the promo code FOOTBALL to get 2 free months with your annual subscription.
NBA playoffs, the 20. If you didn't catch the handle, here's what you missed.
Coach of the Year is something we haven't talked about yet. So you go in and you start looking at these names, and, the first one that jumps off the page to me is Jim Harbaugh. And you and I both think that, sure, Chargers can be good 2-3 years from now. There's not a lot of talent on this team, first and foremost. So how does he win this? I mean, they would have to win the division, right? I mean, because it's not like as much steam and his hype as they've got since he took that job. I don't know.
I look at the top 5 competitors, right? Eberflus with the Bears, Harbaugh with the Chargers, Salah with the Jets, Ryan with the Texans, and LaFleur with the Packers. All 5 would have to win the division, and the Texans would have to do so emphatically.
Right.
I don't think any of that happens.
The Handle with Matt Brown and Mike Somich. Weekends at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on VSiN, the sports betting network.
At VSiN, we've got you covered before, during, and after every game. Jumpstart your game day with Tim Murray and Jonathan Von Tobel on VSiN Primetime at 6 Eastern. They'll get you ready before the first tip, puck drop, and pitch, ensuring you're ahead of the game. Then stay in the loop during all the action with the Greg Peterson Experience at 9. And as the night wraps up, join Matt Humans and Wes Reynolds on VSiN Tonight at 11, giving you the first look at tomorrow's lines to get an edge on the next day's bets. All this and more, only on VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN senior MLB analyst Adam Burke. Let's face it, between bad managers and umpires like Angel Hernandez, betting on baseball can be brutal. But my daily article is here to help. Every morning, I go through each MLB matchup and give you my best bets of the day. I analyze pitching matchups, study analytics, look at lineups, and even weather reports, all to find value on the baseball slate. My daily article is only available to VSiN Pro subscribers. To become a subscriber, head to VSiN.com/pro today.
This playoff season, get the edge with VSiN's expert coverage of the NHL and NBA. Tune in daily for real-time updates and insights for every series and exclusive picks from the VSiN sports betting experts. Stay informed with in-depth articles and the latest betting splits, ensuring you have all the information you need to make your next bet on the hardwood or the ice. Go to VSiN.com/pro to unlock access to everything VSiN has to offer and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
ZYN nicotine pouches. America's #1 nicotine pouch. ZYN is smoke-free, spit-free, hassle-free, and can be enjoyed anywhere, anytime. Whether you're managing your fantasy lineup on the go, watching the game from the stands, or from your couch, you can get the nicotine satisfaction you want with ZYN. Find your ZYN at your local convenience store or online at zyn.com. That's ZYN.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Back on a numbers game, live from Bar Canada at the D's. Gil Alexander. It's Kelly Bidlin, Barcanada, the Barrage. Thanks for tuning in. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Always appreciate the feedback. Best listeners in the game, Kelly. Have I said that before? Because I mean it. I think I've said it before.
It's not what you say off the air.
Don't say it. See, people are going to believe you.
I'm kidding.
I only laud, I adore what we've created here. I do. I love. And by the way,
boy, Jamie Lev, if you could hear what he says about you off the air.
we do the bit. We should say this. We do have a bit, though, that I like to do is when we know that the guests are listening to us before they come on, I do like to do the thing where I go, boy, Jason Weingard is such a... oh, hey, Jason. We like doing that. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Mr. Lucky, honestly, the best listeners in the game. By the way, for those of you who show up after the show and say hi to us, we so enjoy and appreciate that. Thank you for doing that as well and taking the time. Mr. Lucky, the Dodgers' June schedule is highly favorable. He's calling his shot. Brian Schaefer, Gil, take the Dodgers, most wins month of June. Oh, people like the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the short shot, and I will go into my reasons as to, I considered them. I did. I don't like the price. They are the short shot for a reason. I just don't like the price, but we'll get into it. I have my June bets coming up on the show, and I don't think you can anticipate it. Let's see. Touchdown Jesus says that Drew and Julian Edlow are the lone wolves on the Boston Celtics so far. Okay. I'm sure there are others.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Brad Billups, what are the best bets for June MLB total wins? Non-chalk. Oh, I'll get there. I'll let you know what I've bet already and what I'm going to add to it here coming up. Table Max, proud to be this was yesterday we were talking about, with Crack, how many people made the bet. What percentage of numbers game listeners would make the bet that Fezzik recommended yesterday, week 1 of the NFL, a week 1 NFL total? We got a bunch of tweets of people like, I'm part of the 1%. So here's another one. Table Max saying he's proud to be part of it. He made it under 49.5 on the Jaguars-Dolphins week 1 tilt. Jamie Leva, where does the MLB monthly team win totals end and Gil begin? Have a fantastic weekend, gentlemen. Where does the suit end and Perk begin? And New York Morty, tuned in all week to A&G from France. No days off, even on vacation. Thank you, New York Morty. He said some tennis to start the week at Roland Garros and finished off in south of France. Watch out for Chapeau upset today versus Orkatz. How about that?
That's a trip.
How about that? Did you go to Philippe Chatrier? That's what we want to know. Can we bring in Jason Weingard for this, ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line? It's our buddy Jason Weingard from Under a Cloud of Smoke at Spreadopedia. How you doing, Jason?
Good morning. How's it going, guys?
Going very well. I would like to air my new airlines and air travel pet peeve to the both of you. I believe I am going to cover new airline air travel pet peeves in the next 30 seconds, and that is this. When you get a text from an airlines that says your flight is delayed, let's say it's delayed an hour, like I did yesterday, like I already have today, Kelly. Your flight is delayed an hour, and then they come back with subsequent texts bringing that time back towards your original departure time. So first you were delayed an hour, then, oh, by the way, you're only delayed 33 minutes. Oh, by the way, now you're only delayed 18 minutes. And, oh, now, by the way, you're only delayed 4 minutes. They cannot do this. You are killing the passenger because the passenger has in their mind, or her mind, the flight is delayed. Now the passenger is not processing. It's basically on time. And they're late to where they have to go because you set them up for failure. It happens all the time.
I've already ordered 2 more drinks, and now I'm missing my flight. It's a problem, yeah.
Or some people are chilling at home before they go. Has this happened to you, Jason?
Many times. I don't leave the airport. I don't leave for the airport till the last minute. So, yeah, I've been in this situation.
He doesn't sound as upset about it.
I feel like it's a newer thing. I also don't know what percentage of people actually would be outraged like me and you are. I think
it's not outrage. It's you're going to make me miss a flight, though. It's outrage to that extent, right? Eventually, you're going to miss one because yesterday I was like, oh wait, I'm basically on time. I'm late now.
Yeah.
So they got to stop doing that. Anyway, Jason, you texted me something yesterday. Nelly Corda, who has dominated the LPGA Tour this year, she went into the water 3 times. She ends up carding a 10 over par yesterday in the LPGA tournament, and so you're getting excited because you've got Rose Zhang, and then Rose Zhang goes out and posted 8 over. What had happened?
A 9 over. No,
was it a 9
over?
I think it was 8 over, and now she's 1 over for the day, so she's 9 over now, I think. Oh no, maybe you're right.
She's back to 8.
You're right. Maybe it was 9 and then went to 8. Either way. Wow, that's a missed opportunity, huh?
Yeah. The crazy thing is, there's a chance that one or both of them still make the cut today. The wind is picking up there. It's a proper golf test, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
I think there's 1, 2, 3, 5 players under par right now. By the end of the day, wouldn't be surprised if that number drops to 1 or 2 or even 0. So there's still a chance either one of them or both get inside the cut. But yeah, disappointing week. Does not look like Rose is going to capitalize on Nelly's early misfortune, and it's going to cost me some money.
And you were correct. It was 9 over, and then she's 1 under for the day. T109 for Rose Zhang. That was one of those where when Jason sent it to me, I was like, oh, I forgot to bet her. And then by the end of the day, I was like, that's why I didn't bet her.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, they both might still make the cut. There's a lot of golf left.
A lot of golf left. What'd you bet in baseball today, sir?
Let's see. I think I have two bets. I bet Baltimore minus 140, and I faded the Giants. Your Giants, Gil.
Oh, that's not allowed.
I'm sorry, but I took the Yankees minus 127. Did you catch any of the Yankees game last night?
I did not. By chance? I did not.
Yankees Angels. I watched a little bit of it after the basketball was over, and I was actually I haven't got to watch the Yankees a ton this year, but Soto hits a home run, and it's just one of those moments where I just kind of thought again. Do you believe we just let the Yankees get Juan Soto for nothing? I'll tell you what's going on.
I think about it every day because I'm on I always talk about I'm on a text thread with Will Hill and Chris Felica. Chris, who's coming up on the show in a bit. They are diehard Yankees fans. They talk how happy they are that Yankees baseball is so great again because of Juan Soto. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, you mean Washington Nationals great Hall of Famer Juan Soto? Like, it just drives me crazy that this is how Yankees fans just have this entitlement to these players, right? And you're right. How did the world let them get him? How?
Yeah, just let them have them. And they're looking great. I was worried at the beginning of the season. I guess my concern over Aaron Judge's toe has been slightly unfounded.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, I'm just shaking my head. If you could see me right now, I'm like, looks like I got that wrong, but it looks like a good team. I'm excited to watch some more of them on this West Coast swing. Juan Soto is who we thought he was, and like I said, if he stays healthy, I don't know how he's not going to be the MVP. I don't care what anybody else does. It's just going to be Yankee Juan Soto wins the MVP. You know?
Yeah, I know. I'm glad we had that Jose Ramirez exchange the other day because it is again, and I'm the captain of this in the last year. Great bets that finish second, right, on a lot of these, and yeah, no matter how good Jose Ramirez is in Cleveland, all things being equal, they're going to give it to the Yankee bias and to Juan Soto. The other thing that occurs to me about the Soto thing is, and we've said this about so many acquisitions of the Yankees through the years, New York's not for everybody. Right? They get it. Their trajectory of their career sometimes changes. Like the big stage is not for them. it doesn't appear to be at all a thing for Juan Soto. He's like, whatever, New York.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like, you see it across town with the Mets. They get a guy like maybe Francisco Lindor, and it just isn't working out as great as it could be. And then you see Juan Soto, and it's just like he's always been destined to be a Yankee almost. Yeah. Some guys, they look better in pinstripes.
Anything else besides the Yankees against the Giants? You mentioned one other there.
I do. Well, actually, it's somewhat Yankee related. I'm hesitant to give it out because I'm not done betting it yet. But I have a rookie of the year bet on a Yankees player, and it's not Luis Gil. I guess you can draw conclusions from that as you'd like. But I've been heavily betting it this week.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be Luis Gil because, again, Luis Gil is just destined for regression if you immerse yourself in the Fangraphs page. Could he pull a Blake Snell and do it for the whole year? I guess anything's possible.
But none of these pitchers, and we've seen it we got to go. We'll talk about it next week, Bill. I'll talk more about it.
Give us the headline of your thought, though. We'll tease it for next time.
The rookie pitchers don't get enough innings to win Rookie of the Year. There's a lot of value on the Rookie of the Year board. We got to dive into it.
All right, we'll do that next time. Coming back. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good weekend.
You too. Coming back, UFC 302 with Jordan Sherwood. Is this going to be good? Next, Numbers Game VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
DraftKings, giving a bonus bet back if I lose so I don't have to sweat my bet? NBA Hall of Famer Patrick Ewing. Now, you know all about sweating. Break it down for us.
A no-sweat bet. It's kind of like an offensive rebound. You miss your first shot, you get another chance to score.
You're supposed to shower after.
Best bets of the day. I analyze pitching matchups, study analytics, look at lineups, and even weather reports, all to find value on the baseball slate. My daily article is only available to VSiN Pro subscribers. To become a subscriber, head to VSiN.com/pro today.
If you think about betting football all year round, the Lombardi Line on VSiN is the perfect show for you. 7 days a week, you can watch and listen to you as a bettor. Catch the show weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern and on weekends at 10 a.m. Eastern. The Lombardi Line, 7 days a week, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If you didn't catch Sharp Money, here's what you missed.
How is this possible? You're one of the great players in the game. You just led your team in points, rebounds, and assists, and Jaylen Brown won the MVP. That's Jason Tatum, peeps. I can't make it up. I wish it wasn't true. I love the kid. I'm a big Tatum guy. Here's the thing, Dustin. Time is undefeated. And so I've kind of reworked what I believe is a successful season for your Boston Celtics. Remember how I said they either have to win a championship or they have to lose in Game 7 on a half-court shot, erase the half-court shot. This team is far and away better than anybody in the NBA this year. If they don't win a championship, they're 76-20. They've got defenders coming out of their eyeballs. They're going to get Porzingis back. If they don't win a championship, it will be an unmitigated disaster.
Sharp Money with Patrick Maher, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Looking for the ultimate sports betting podcasts? VSiN has got you covered. With a wide range of podcasts covering every major sport, we're here to help you make smarter bets every season. Hardwood Handicappers offers daily NBA analysis and picks from VSiN's top hosts and experts. And check out Long Shots, where we deep dive into the world of golf betting, providing you with expert insights to help you bet every tournament. Find all of these podcasts and more at vsin.com/podcasts or your favorite podcast platform.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
We are so close to crowning an NBA champ. The finals are here, and with the action heating up on the court, it's even hotter at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New to DraftKings, listen up. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500. Just deposit at least $5. You'll get a bonus bet back equal to your first bet if it doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code VSiN. The crown is yours. Skill Alexander, it's Kelly Bidlin, live from Bar Canada at the D. One of my favorite things in the world, I was just saying off air, is to hear Kelly Bidlin and our next guest, Jordan Sherwood, talk about their old radio days in Palm Beach, Florida. Oh, they wax about it. They rhapsodize about it. It's a beautiful thing. Jordan comes to us courtesy of the progressive guest line, Jordan Sherwood, that is, to talk UFC 302. Good morning to you, sir.
Always a pleasure, Gil. And yes, always a joy to talk West Palm Beach, Florida with one Kelly Bidlin. Going old school. Off air, not for on-air content, off-air content.
The Real Housewives of West Palm Beach, these guys. It's phenomenal.
Oh, man. Gil, we had, when were we talking about Hard Rock with Crack? Was that this week or last week?
Last week, I think.
One of the first times I ever hung out with Jordan, I was basically asked to show him a good time, because he was new in town. And we ended up at the Hard Rock way late. One of my favorite memories of Jordan Sherwood.
You're like, this ain't Palm Beach anymore. Jordan, by the way, is the co-host of the Unnamed MMA podcast. You can follow him on Twitter at Wood on ESPN 1000. Before we talk UFC 302, I would be remiss if I just ignored what you're wearing. You are wearing a Chicago Bears top. You are a Bears fan, and the Bears are going to be featured on Hard Knocks. How? Because I've always wondered, like, if Washington ever got on this, I think me and my buddies will just go crazy. How do you guys feel about this as Bears fans? Are you happy? Are you mixed in your feelings?
We kind of knew that this was coming. The reports were that they were one of 4 teams available for Hard Knocks. They've got all the storylines of the offseason with Caleb Williams, the additions, the stadium discussion that's going on with the team in the city. So it's about time. Basically, Bears fans want the spotlight. They like the attention. And look, it's going to give them a little bit more of an inside look of Caleb Williams and how he's maturing as a rookie. So, yeah, we're absolutely excited as Bears fans that they're going to be featured on Hard Knocks.
Okay. All right. What did I say after the draft? Caleb Williams, certainly not lacking for confidence. That I will say.
Yes, that is correct.
I am very interested to see what his personality is like on a more in-depth basis. All right, UFC 302 in Newark, New Jersey. Let us start with the main event, the lightweight title bout between Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier, where Makhachev is a $6 favorite. Poirier plus 440 on the comeback. For those who don't know, Makhachev, number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, hadn't defended this title, hadn't fought for this title against another lightweight though. Had defended twice already against a former featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski. He moved up to the 155-pound belt to do so, and then you have Poirier. We all know him, former interim lightweight champ. This is his 3rd attempt for the 155-pound title. He beat Benoit Saint-Denis. I know you know that, Kelly. Benoit Saint-Denis by second-round knockout at UFC 299. How are we betting this? And by the way, Jordan, just to watch Makhachev's sort of interviews leading up to this, he is not the most cuddly guy in the world. Let me just say that.
No, I mean, he's there to fight. He's there to fight and be a dominating champion. And look, I understand why the odds are in place. Makhachev is, as you alluded to, Gil, number 1 in the pound-for-pound rankings as a fighter, and he can do it all. He's not just a grappler. He's also evolved as a striker. And, he is Khabib Nurmagomedov 2.0. He's the protege of Khabib, and Khabib's going to be in his corner. So there's a lot of familiarity. Nurmagomedov defeated Dustin Poirier a few years ago. And yes, you are right. This is Makhachev's technically first title defense against a lightweight. But Dustin Poirier, whether he hangs it up or not after this fight, is a future Hall of Famer. He's a great boxer, but he's struggled with guys that have a grappling attack. And that is what Islam Makhachev is going to feature, in this fight. And I'd love a storybook ending for Dustin Poirier to finally become the lightweight champion of the world. But I don't believe that that's going to be the case. But the dollar price point at Makhachev you can't lay that. You can't lay $650 on Makhachev to win the fight, or maybe even get creative. So What I'm going to look at is actually what Makhachev typically does in fights, starts a little bit slow, gets a feel for his opponent, and then goes on the attack. And the last 2 times that Dustin Poirier has lost in a title fight via submission, it's been in the 3rd round. So how about this to get creative? Makhachev to win in round number 3. Ooh. It's at plus, I think, 600 or 650 on most books.
Wow.
So, Dustin Poirier's a tough out, and I would love to see him win the championship, but I just can't see that happening. So Makhachev to win, likely inside the distance, but let's get really creative and say that he wins in round 3. However, I just want to throw out 2 things real quick because this is a numbers game. Dustin Poirier is 7-0 in his MMA career in the month of June. And we'll get to him in the co-main event. The last 7 times that Paulo Costa has been featured, not in the main event, but in the co-main event or on a main card, the defending champion has lost in all 7 instances. If you believe in the numbers, Dustin Poirier is the new champion of the world on Saturday night.
Is there anything meaningful to that June stat, honestly, Jordan?
Not really. No. Okay. I mean, we can. Yeah. I mean, a fight's a fight. A matchup is a matchup. But look, if you like to play and you want a little bit more confidence back in Dustin Poirier, the dude is 7-0 in the month of June.
You're absolutely right, though. Makhachev, that's exactly who he reminds you of, Nurmagomedov, not only in terms of his fighting, but just his attitude as well. And then they both go out and they take care of business. Daniel Cormier was talking to Makhachev, and he was like, any throwaway question he would ask, instead of rolling with the punch, he would challenge back. So he'd be like, "This Poirier match is really gonna salt your status." He's like, "Why would you say that?" It's just great. All right, co-main, Sean Strickland, Paulo Costa, with Strickland a big favorite here.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that this card is extremely chalky. I understand why Sean Strickland is as big of a favorite as he is. He's got great boxing. He's got outstanding cardio. He's going to be in the face of Paulo Costa from the onset. This is a 5-round fight, even though it's a co-main event and not for a championship. And he's the former champion. And questions have been always asked about Paulo Costa. Where's his head at? Is this guy motivated? This will be the first time he actually fights twice in a calendar year since he made his UFC debut, I think in 2017. So it's been a while since Paulo Costa has been consistent. But the game plan for Sean Strickland is to be in the face, use the jab, and outbox and outwork Paulo Costa. But here's the thing. The last 2 times that Sean Strickland has lost a fight, he's lost it against guys that carry power and can go hard for 5 rounds. Jared Cannonier comes to mind. Similar game plan, similar type of style, realistically, for Paulo Costa. So for me, I could understand backing Strickland, put him into a parlay. But I think actually there's some value on Paulo Costa to land more of the significant damage strikes throughout a 5-round fight and win this fight via decision at plus 850. Woo. It's a flyer. It's not a totally recommended confidence pick, but Strickland in a kickboxing match, which he's going to do against Paulo Costa, has struggled against guys that are powerful punchers. So I like Paulo Costa. If he's right, his mind is right, he's set, and apparently he is because he's fighting consistently now. I think he could steal an upset here. This would be the one upset pick I look at in the main card.
Jordan is not messing around. Makhachev round 3 plus 650. Costa via decision plus 850. Whew. All right, you got 2 more plays on the main card. We got 90 seconds. What do you got here?
Yeah, I like the matchup on the main card opener, Randy Brown against Alicia Dos Santos. I think Randy Brown is going to utilize his athleticism, his reach, and just outwork Dos Santos, just avoid the phone booth fight. He's a $1.70 favorite on the money line, so I like him. And Kevin Holland returning to middleweight against Mikhail Ojacek. Ojacek has struggled at times with some takedowns. Jacek's going to have to work the body and look for a knockout. Holland's got a granite chin. And as long as he's just not having conversation with his opponent, because for some reason Kevin Holland likes to talk to his opponent and really get into dialogue, concentrate on what you're doing, Kevin Holland. Get the takedown. And Ojacek has been submitted in 2 of his 3 current losses in his UFC career. Holland's got some good darts chokes, some good rear naked chokes. So I like Holland via submission to get some plus money on Kevin Holland to win the fight.
All right. Did we go through all 4? Did we get them all in? Yes.
I think so.
We did.
I think
Three
so,
dogs,
yeah.
3 dogs and a favorite.
That's another, like, don't these guys realize we're betting on them? Stop talking and fight. Come on.
It's just before Kelly even got to that, I was going to say, Kelly, you love Jordan Spieth and golf so much. Kevin Holland is your new favorite UFC fighter.
Shut up and fight. Come on.
Shut up and fight. Stop talking. Jordan, appreciate it. Congratulations on the Bears on Hard Knocks, man.
All right. Thanks, fellas. Always a pleasure.
Jordan Sherwood, everybody, talking UFC 302. Again, you can follow Jordan on Twitter at Wood on ESPN 1000, co-host of the unnamed MMA podcast. Still to come, MLB Most Wins June. We will get to that in hour number 2. But next, Chris Felica. People call him the Bear. He's going to not only talk Champions League with us, but he's also got a couple college football season win totals. That's next. Numbers Game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This close to crowning an NBA champ, and with the action heating up on the court, it's even hotter at DraftKings Sportsbook,